This is unprecedented. I'm Adam Klein, winner of Survivor Millennials vs. Generation X. Get ready to shout through your confessionals all season long. It's Survivor Talk with D&D.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our recap and feedback show for the 8th episode of Survivor, Heroes versus Healers versus Hustlers, Playing with the Devil. I'm Dwaine, I'm here with David, and we're just two best friends talking about the show we love, Survivor, for 6 more episodes. Just 6, David. Just 6. We are hanging up our hats, my friends. It is time to stop. Very little explanation here. You can go on our Facebook group and read all about it, or go to the end of our last podcast episode and hear us talk about it. Important thing is our Facebook group stays up. The webpage is going to stay up, so you can go back all the way to our very first show, listen to all the previous 6 seasons we've done. No, 12 seasons we've done. Wow. And listen to all of those and all that good stuff, and watch the videos, even though they're not on YouTube anymore. So all that's still available. And it's going to be a lot of fun for y'all to go back and do that. But the Facebook group is going to be a lot more fun. So make sure you stay in there. All right. Here is our schedule. David, last week we had no intention of having anybody on at the end of our run, did we?
As of the end of last week, as of the end of the last podcast, we had no intention of.
Well, apparently that is not what's supposed to happen.
Apparently not.
Because this week it's just us and our wonderful chat room people. Next week, who knows when we're going to record. Sometime, and it will be just you and me. But November 30th, we are borrowing Jessica Lewis from Rob Has a Podcast, and he is graciously relieving her to us. What's the right word for that? I mean, you know, Rob could say, I would rather you not, but Rob's not going to do that. Rob's a pretty awesome guy. So he's allowing Jessica to, you know what I mean. He's not stopping her or anything like that, which he wouldn't. But anyway, so Jessica Lewis is coming on. December 7th, Kelly Wentworth is coming back on. On the 14th, Cass McQuillan is coming back on. And then for the finale episode, David, who is it?
It's the Boys Club.
That's right. Andy Baker and Steve Helling, David Jones, and Dwayne Stroud. We may never stop talking. It may be the longest. It may be the longest podcast ever. Mixler,
we may not even talk about the finale.
Right. Mixler will stop recording. We'll stop broadcasting this at 3 hours, and we will keep going.
That's right.
That's right. Vader Girl wants to know who said "Playing with the Devil." I believe that was Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, David, it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's talk about the show. What are your initial thoughts?
Well, over these 12 seasons, you and I have every now and then hit the same initial thought.
No.
Identicals. We've hit a couple that were identical.
Yeah, true.
And I think this week should have been one of those weeks.
Okay.
But I want you to go first, because if I do it first, you'll be mad if I do it first. So let me ask you this.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I know. I have a feeling you're not. You're thinking, what did I miss?
Yeah. What is so obvious that I'm supposed to be doing this? Okay.
Do any of your initial thoughts, are any of them associated with a movie?
No.
Okay, then I'll go first.
Okay.
I only have 2. One's short, one's longer.
Hey.
My first one is the short one. And for me, this episode was a mad episode.
I've already used that one this year. Mad world. Well,
yeah, we talked about it.
I know I've referenced the movie. So explain, please.
If you go to Facebook, I just posted it because I didn't want to drop it out there before we went live. But I just posted a picture of the gang digging under the flag as a group, and Jonathan Winters in the middle of the hole with the whole gang of the movie standing around him.
Oh, that's right.
Wanting that suitcase. I think it was a suitcase, wasn't it, at the bottom?
I forgot about it. Yeah, it was a suitcase. Under the big W.
Under the big
W.
The palm trees or whatever they were.
No, don't give it away, you idiot. It's not.
You just did.
No, I didn't. The whole thing says under a big W, and no one can find the big W.
The movie's like 110 years old, so if I spoiled it, I'm sorry.
It's 110 years old and 110 minutes, thousands of minutes long.
Yes.
It's about a 3-hour movie. That's hilarious.
That was my first initial reaction.
My first one is Joe can push buttons. Joe can push people's buttons, get them all riled up, and get them to not think straight, all the while remaining calm and at the same time remaining calm. Of course, look at what he does for a living. He's a probation officer. He has to be able to remain calm and in complete control of his facilities at all times, in all situations. This, you may not like Joe, but he's got the right demeanor, ability to control himself to play this game. He can push your button and then sit back and watch you react. You know,
I totally agree. And we've got I listened to the feedback. I just was sitting here with a few minutes to kill, and I listened to the feedback that's going to be tonight. And we've got opposing viewpoints of Joe in our feedback, and it's really good.
Oh, good.
In fact, tonight's feedback is really good all the way across the board.
Wonderful.
Really good. So, but when you say he can cause people not to think straight.
Yeah.
What were you referring to?
Well, I'm referring to Ben, because he got Ben so riled up that Ben is like, all he's thinking about is, I've got to say no. I do not swear on my Marines. I can't. Everything else goes out the window.
Yeah.
He's he's all messed up. He can't think straight.
You're not talking about the vote. You're just talking about the way it got to Ben.
Oh yeah, the way Joe got to him. Joe sat there, kept saying it. Well, yeah, I mean, you've swore on the Marines, even though he knows he didn't by now. And he still says it, I mean, I just think it's.
I don't even know if he thinks it at all. By the way he was talking to him, he may have said something to that effect, but.
He's just pushing his button.
I'm with Mike K that this season would be boring without Joe. This season would be. We've got some good people on the bottom that are going to fight their way to try to stay in the game.
Yeah. Well,
I think
I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. So I'm not.
How many other initial reactions do you have?
I have one more. So
go ahead and do yours, because my second one's long.
What? Okay. If you're going to go on Survivor, here is my Survivor tip. Survivor tip number 317. This is our 317th episode. Bring shorts with pockets. Way to go, Lauren.
Yeah.
She had a pocket. She had a pocket on her butt. She had a pocket in between, she had pockets everywhere.
Absolutely.
So I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it, but I just love watching Lauren play Survivor. You know what I think it might be, David? I think it might be that you look at her the beginning of the season and you think, okay, she's the fisher woman, from up north. She's not going to fit in with anybody, and yet she's doing great, and I'm loving every second of it. She does fit in.
Yeah, exactly. Because to me, she was somebody that wasn't going to with that first group. And Simone, I think, was an easy pick off. I think the Patrick vote was really to her credit that she was able to stay out of the spot of that vote and let Patrick be the one that gets voted out. And now she's found her place really well with Ben in the middle of these two groups of people. I completely agree. She's really worked herself into a good spot. And I didn't have her going far, and I'm so glad that she is.
Yeah.
I'm so glad she's doing that.
They're not showing this, but I almost think maybe she's the one controlling Ben versus him controlling her.
I would not disagree with that.
I mean, I don't know if it's total control, but I think she may be the alpha in that relationship.
Yeah, I would not disagree with that.
The one calling the shots. All right, so what's your next thing?
This episode, I already called it a Mad episode, but I got to say, this may be one of my favorite episodes for the past few years.
Wow.
This episode hit so many points, and here's what I compare it to. And I'm not comparing it to that sport, Mike. I'm comparing it to the sport we don't really know any of these people before they go on. We might know their celebrity. We might know they're from being a sports person or something to that effect. But you and I don't really have any personal relationships with these people. So it's easy for us to watch and commentate because we don't have any ties. Now, we have biases. We have people that we pick out that we're going to like, that we're going to root for. Yeah. But overall, it's kind of like watching a playoff game in football of two teams that you don't have a horse in that race.
Right.
So, and I think back to the Chargers-Dolphins game, the Kellen Winslow game, where I just happened to be sitting down that day and watching this game, and it turned out to be an amazing football game that went to overtime and won on the last play of the game. Ooh. To me, this episode was like watching that. Everybody had gotten out of the room. Terry was talking to her mom about some family issue just going on that I didn't have anything to do with. So I had the whole room to myself, no coughing, no talking, no walking, no nothing going on. And I just could not get enough of this episode. I can't wait to do the recap. There were so many great points. And I give production a lot of hassle sometimes. I thought this was a very well edited and played out and scripted episode of Survivor, including the reward the reward that came out of it, including the twist that came out of it.
Yeah.
I just fell in love with this episode. I didn't care, almost didn't care who went home. I just loved this whole episode, how it played out. And I was admittedly locally disappointed that it was Desi that went home because she's from Virginia. But otherwise, this was, to me, one of the reasons I love Survivor so much. Like Ben said, you never know what's going to happen in Survivor. And this was just a wonderful. This is an A episode for me.
Well, good. I can't wait to hear all your talk about it.
Oh, loved it.
I'm interested. Maybe in the chat room they can go ahead and start talking about this. Why vote out Desi over Joe? That'd be an interesting.
Oh, I got to answer that right now.
All right. Well, tell me.
Because you can't control immunity wins, but you can control somebody that you now know does not have an idol.
All right.
And eventually you're going to figure out. Somehow we figure out that Ryan's got that. I think this is my opinion that. They knew Joe. They know Joe now. They see he doesn't have an idol, and they still went with Desi because you can't control the game if you're not winning immunities. If somebody that's on the bottom is winning immunities, you can't control that person. Joe has not been close in immunity win yet. I think that's the only thing I can come up with as to why they took Desi.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
But I'd love to hear other thoughts.
You know what, David? There's no better talk than Survivor talk. You know, I really hate that I just came up with that line like 8 weeks before we stopped. There's no better talk than Survivor talk. Because I'm not talking about our show, although it's kind of a double entendre, you know? Mm-hmm. There's no better talk than Survivor talk. Uh-huh. You're awfully proud. No, I'm talking about the show, Survivor talk. But anyway, back at camp. Joe, I love this perspective. As a fan, you have to appreciate that.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. Cole, of course, had the opposite reaction. Now I know what it feels like to be lied to.
Yeah.
I was waiting for all of them to turn around and say, welcome to Survivor.
Yeah.
If you'd watched the show, you'd know that that's what happens in this game.
And Ben said Lauren and I had a plan and we executed it.
Okay, so this was neat because last week I felt like it was Chrissy. We didn't get a whole lot of Ben. We had Ben and Lauren in the middle. We knew they were kind of making a flip decision one way or the other.
Yeah, they had control.
I really thought it was Chrissy. And this week it's Ben says Lauren and I had a plan and we got out our target.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you go for the biggest duck. You don't go for the smaller ones that have more points. You go for the bigger duck who doesn't have an idol, that you know doesn't have an idol, and take them out.
Yeah.
So, hey, Ben's in charge. Yeah. Joe's right.
Ben's in charge, and he has Lauren behind him steering the wheel. That's what I think is going on. But, yeah, I mean, it wasn't Chrissy had a good plan to go, but it only worked if Ben and Lauren were behind it last week, you know? So that does kind of put Ben and Lauren in a good spot.
We're getting so many snippets of things that could come back to bite players. And Ben gave one right at the end of that first segment that he feels like he's in control of the group, the majority with Lauren. He's in a good spot, but he's worried about the individual game that's going to be getting thicker and thicker as we get into this game because an individual person's play can mess up the whole thing, which as somebody in control of a group like Sarah, you got to be expecting that some person to make an individual mistake that messes up your plans. You got to anticipate that. And I think Sarah did that very well. Tony did that very well. And if Ben's going to get to the end, he's got to do that too. And I worry about that. I don't think he's going to see that.
I don't know that I see Ben winning. I could see Lauren winning.
I was just thinking the same thing. I can't see Ben winning because he's got, like, it's spelled out in this episode why Ben won't be at the end. Yeah. According to some of the players in this game. But Lauren, who's talking about Lauren?
No, that's
who's talking about taking Lauren to the end? And I'm so with you that if Lauren's sitting at the end, she's going to get votes.
Right. And then Chrissy, as I started, I don't know if I started talking about this last week or the week before, is she was doing so well, and now she's just being stupid. she's talking. Okay, stupid may be strong. Sorry, Chrissy, you're not being stupid, but she's not in the same place she was. She had a lot of control, and now she doesn't have as much. But she's also talking about things in front of people, way too overconfident.
You said it last week, overconfident.
She's
overconfident.
That's
what I wrote down because I remember you said that. And whispering beside somebody that's not supposed to hear you, is so risky.
And I really think that the edit is showing that her game is falling apart. That's what I think.
Yeah. Well, if you on that subject, it's in our chat room that Desi spoke highly of Lauren and poorly of Chrissy. Patty shared and that was Mike shared that. Patty said, according to Desi, Chrissy is making mistakes by unnecessarily lying to other tribe members by swearing on her children when Desi knew Chrissy was lying to her.
Thus the comment in tribal council.
Yeah, so I think this is another Dawn vote thing where she does not get the votes if she makes it to the end.
Yeah.
But why wouldn't she make it now if nobody seems to be happy with her? Why not take her to the end?
Yeah. And then Desi, she put all her eggs in the Joe basket. And that just didn't work out for her.
We didn't get anything from Desi in the game other than the challenges. I mean, yeah.
So
I'm with it. I agree.
So the next day, Lauren finds an advantage, and the advantage is
because Lauren is up and working.
Yeah,
she's not sleeping.
Yeah. Well, Cole was working for like 2 nails, but then apparently he stopped.
Because all the nails are still in that bucket.
Yeah. So Lauren's working, and she like accidentally drops a nail. Oh, did you see where that went? Snag.
Yeah, everybody's looking for the nail. She's grabbing them.
Yeah. So I like this advantage. I'm liking every single advantage this season. And I like them because they have to be used. You have to make a decision now. So you don't have 15 advantages sitting around doing nothing. Boom, that advantage has to be used so they can do the next one later.
What I like about this advantage is that it's not a one and done. It's not you have to play it at this tribal council because she didn't technically play it. True. She just engaged it.
True.
She just turned it on.
You're right.
So, but because I was talking to a guy in choir practice because we try to talk until 9:00 so that we don't go home and see anything on the TV. We want to make sure it's completely recorded. And we're talking, and he said, "What are you worried about this episode?" I said, "I'm worried that they're going to throw something at Cole's feet so that he can either win the immunity or stay in the game somehow. I'm just worried that they're going to do something that he gets an advantage and gets to stay in the game because he's an alpha male or just because he's Cole." And this reward, that advantage was for everybody. Cole happened to be near it last week, but Lauren got it. Yay. Yeah. And then the later the hint, I can't wait to talk about that. But anyway, I love this advantage. Wait, my battery's running low.
On what?
Oh, because I'm plugged in.
On what? Your laptop?
On my second laptop.
Oh.
So I love this advantage too. But it comes with consequences. And I love that because, sorry if I'm making extra noise, because when talking to the guys at Durham Warriors, like Andy and John and Mike and Ryan, and they're talking about stuff and talking about advantages and talking about different things, mainly it's Andy. He loves to talk about how advantages should come with consequences and choices. They shouldn't just be free. And I love that about this advantage and that it comes with a consequence. You can, if you get caught, you're in trouble. If you don't play it, it's gone.
Well, she should have gotten caught. 10 votes with 11 people. Somebody should have had a brain enough to figure that out.
Yeah, but there's only a few brains in the game right now. But anyway, but yeah, I like the consequence of this. It's not. See, this is what I thought Cole was going to get. You get an extra vote at the next tribal council.
Yeah.
Well, that keeps Cole in the game. You know, I didn't want that. This is incredible. Oh, you can play it at the next tribal, but you can't use it at the next tribal. You're just going to engage it at the next tribal. And I loved it.
Yeah.
So, and I love that she's already thinking in game, which since we're talking about it, Mike K shared from an extra video for me. I asked him to share it with me right here. And he said, from the extra video, Lauren revealed that the secret advantage said it has to be used at the next tribal. We knew that, or it's forfeited, but it's only good through final 6. She mentioned it getting her to the final 3. but it's only good through final 6.
Okay.
And it had instructions on what to do if there's a tie revote, but it said Lauren was supposed to put a blank vote in, not toss it over the side.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering why she did that.
But I noticed on the second watch that they kind of cut Lauren off mid-note. They didn't let her finish it, which told us this has to be used by final 6. That's the only thing we didn't really get out of it.
All right. Well, yeah, I also like this. And now she has an extra vote, which is great.
That's awesome.
And she got it without taking it from someone else.
And who did she tell? Oh, yeah, from taking it from someone else.
Yeah,
and who did she tell?
Well, she told Ben, but I got the feeling that the only reason why she told Ben was because she knew that it was going to affect their plan to split the votes. You know? Yep. So she had to tell Ben. Notice she said, I had to tell you.
Yeah.
You know?
And it could have come out that there was enough votes that they could have said, oh, they must not have read all the votes because they didn't need to. But you're right. I love that. That is so in-depth in strategy, thinking about it. And I look forward to talking to that part when we get there. But yeah,
so,
she eventually has to tell Ben.
So far, I have 3 lines of text that we have gone through. All right, excuse me. So let's talk about this reward challenge. I love it. You're playing for a reward that is not your normal reward. Spaghetti, yes. Bread,
You know what? Forget the challenge. Let's just talk about the reward.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Okay, now listen. First clue, this is not going to be normal. The non-player gets to join the reward? Something ain't right.
I've always been a fan of that. I always feel bad for that person because it would be me. And I liked it when they picked the team to root for. If they're pick team 1, they get to go. But I like this. And like you said, because of what comes from it.
Right. But also, they don't always do this. It's usually too bad. So if I'm out there, I'm going, why are you letting him join us? What's going to happen? What's going to happen?
Do you think this is one of those first time on Survivors?
No, I don't know.
Because they could claim that, but it's
they
not worth being a first time.
They would have said it anyway.
Yeah.
So, okay, really briefly, where is the challenge, or do you even care? You want to just get to the reward?
Well, there was a little strategy in the challenge, but otherwise it didn't. I mean, when you look at, you got Cole, Devin, and JP on one team, and Mike and Ben on the other. Although Ashley's over there, Dest's over there, but anyway, no, it was almost a blowout.
Well, I do think that the blue team's strategy was a good one. You know, get the bad ones out of the way, or the not as good ones out of the way, and then let your 2 guys do the last. Do them.
So, I know. Anything else about challenge? Oh, yeah, that was right. I totally agree. Get your weak players out first, and then stick with your strong players.
Where is
I was reading what Mike said. He's with you. He's suspicious that odd person out gets to join the reward.
Yeah. Where's Becky when I need her to joke with you about not listening to me?
I heard you. I just didn't find anything about the reward we're talking.
Let's talk about the reward then. So it's Devin's birthday. He gets to go first. Now I'm going to turn it over to you because you can't wait to talk about this.
Well, I just loved it because it's not a reward where everybody sits on their behind and eats food until they get sick and goes out in the woods and loses it.
Right.
This has consequences.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely has consequences. And I'm surprised that Joe let everyone go before him and fully ransack the place before he gets there. I'm surprised there was anything but 8 noodles sitting on a bare table when he got there. You know, and I loved it. It's so funny because, of course, I'm looking at it is a sheet cake of spaghetti. You know, and not once. All we got from Devin was Devin is a moaner when he's hungry and eating good food.
I almost started the podcast with David. How are you? Doing
every bite. It's almost like he was speed eating. I wonder if they had a certain amount of time.
Did you see what Patricia wrote in the chat room? Ashley said Devin lied as a strategy and said it was his birthday, so he could eat first.
Good on him.
But also good on Joe for saying, "Hey, I'll go last." You know, I think that's good on Joe. That's probably what I would have done.
See, then bears the question: does Joe really think he has a chance to save himself with that gesture? Because he might be closer to Devin than we think. We may not know relationships, but all he's doing is giving 5 people a chance to find a clue before him.
Well, true, but he's not hurting his game any, unless you consider that hurting your game. But, I mean, he certainly isn't going to make any enemies, where he might have if he had said, I'm going first. And then they would have all been like, he's going first because he knows there's an idol there, and now he has an idol. So
it's working for Cole.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's a tough decision. But you know what? This is what I loved about it. Decisions come with consequences.
Yeah.
His consequence was he got no chance to see the clue. Had he gone first, no matter how much he'd eaten, he could have possibly found the clue, possibly found it,
right,
and had an advantage and done whatever. But Devin goes up and eats more than 1/6 of the spaghetti there.
Yeah, definitely.
To the point where he doesn't see the lettering that was there. But
yeah.
And then JP doesn't realize there's anything there.
No.
And actually covers it up when he's finished.
He probably thinks, oh, look, this plate is a brand name. Oh, well, I'll have to ask afterwards.
This must be a Survivor Immunity Idol brand name plate.
Yeah, wow. The last person gets to keep this as a souvenir.
That's what I wrote. He would have rather gone last, but it all works out.
Oh, well.
And they said, JP, these are going to be your only lines in the episode, so whatever you want to say is fine. Just
wait, I think he may have chuckled a little bit at Tribal Council.
He also chuckled when the flag hit Devin when they were digging, but yeah. Cole walks up and thinks immediately that Devin and JP likely ate more than their fair share. Really?
And
this
I'm
is
going
the guy
to as
talking
well.
about somebody else eating too much?
Yeah, and then he says, I'm going to too. Why not?
Exactly. So this is where I told my whole family, Terry, my mother-in-law, and Davis were sitting at the table. I said, let me tell you about this spaghetti reward. And as I'm telling them that this wilderness guide takes all the spaghetti and puts it on a napkin and drags it on top of the plate, they can't stop laughing.
Yeah.
doing this.
Yeah. Because that's the way Survivor would serve. Although Chrissy bought it. Chrissy didn't think anything was odd about it.
Well, first thing she said was, I really thought I'd get a plate. Maybe her own plate, but still a plate, so to speak. Why would it be on a napkin? And sure enough, she finally looks under the napkin and sees it. But my thing was for Cole, dude, get rid of the plate.
Exactly.
Why would you leave a clue under food that's about to disappear?
Yeah, all you got to do is throw it behind you, Just get it out of the reach of the camera guy so he doesn't keep focusing behind Chrissy's like, why are you cameraing behind me or shooting behind me? No, but seriously, Cole,
right.
Throw it away or break it or something, bury it.
I mean, it'd be different if he was thinking, I want everybody to see it so we all get a chance. No, he covers it. He makes it a horrible attempt to cover it and just, that was in-depth player to me.
Now, Chrissy, on the other hand, left it there because she wanted Ryan to see it.
Or did she?
Sure she did. She knew Ryan was
Why
next.
not uncover the whole plate if you want Ryan to see it? How bad would it have been if Chrissy, who didn't think Cole found it, had been the only person to find it? It wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world. She said, I hope Ryan finds it, and covered it back up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, unless she really thinks that some production put a napkin under spaghetti, unless it was that greasy or something. But, if she really wanted him to find it, slide everything off the words, leave it right there, and he finds it. Yeah. So I'm just thinking in the back of her mind, she's going, if he doesn't find it, it's not the worst thing in the world.
Right. Okay.
But she does ask him when he comes back.
In the chat room, Mike says, well, what would you do with all the spaghetti? Eat it all? There's no way you could eat all that.
I was going to ask you that question. If you're first, what do you do?
Well, I don't need all. Okay, there's how many people out there? 6? I go, that's 3. That's boom, boom. And I eat my 6th.
Not me.
That's what I do.
I take a big bite of salad, and then I eat as much spaghetti as I can without throwing up. And then I take the rest, and I mix it up, and I put it in a new shape so that it looks like it's still a large amount of spaghetti.
Fair point.
I don't, you know what? I'm thinking that's what Devin was going to do, was slice it into thirds and then cut those in halves. And I'll have 6 spots for everybody. I took mine. I eat as much as I can eat if I go first. And then I mix up the rest and just, because that's the beauty of this reward.
They don't
Nobody knows what that table looks like.
Well, yeah,
guys, there wasn't even any salad as I'm shoving it all down.
But if after 2 people there's no spaghetti left, they might suspect something.
Yeah.
All right.
But
So
that was I love it. And then Ryan
Go ahead.
finds it kind of direct there.
Yeah.
Don't need to be a mastermind to figure that out.
And he buries it. And then back at the beach,
we get an overconfident.
She won't be quiet. I'm serious. If I'm Ryan, I'm like, would you please stop talking to me about this? Stop it.
And Ben has made those same expressions at her to stop talking.
Gosh.
Even at the immunity challenge, she goes to say something, and he kind of like, hold on. And there's still JP and Cole.
Right.
She's like, she can't stop. But
oh man, I mean, I'm frustrated for Ryan, and I'm not even out there.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not Ryan, and I'm frustrated because boy, I'd be annoyed if that was happening to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like, I don't think Cole's smart enough to find it.
Yeah, he's
well,
right.
He may
next
not be
to
smart
you.
enough, but he's not deaf either.
Gosh.
But poor Joe. We don't even get to see Joe's reaction to eating spaghetti off a napkin.
No, we don't. Joe probably went there and goes, well, I didn't think I was going to get any, but
yeah.
Well. All right, back at camp. And, hey, David, what is your strategy to get the idol from underneath the would you first go to the bathroom, you think? Maybe
wash my hands, maybe probably not.
Yeah, maybe go to the bathroom and let other people who know about the clue, because you know they know about the clue.
Here's what I do.
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
If I'm Ryan, I take Chrissy and we go sit by the flag. We don't make any big gestures. We don't do anything major. We just gradually start moving our hand into the sand.
And then all of a sudden, Cole, wow!
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. And you saw how fast he found it.
Oh, yeah.
Within seconds. So much so that JP's like, digging sand? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I mean, he looked right at him.
JP is, he's just like, oh, okay. Walks on. I mean, he's not playing the game, dude. He's just kind of living the life. Right
so I would like to know what he thinks, if he saw anything or what he thinks he saw.
Yeah, well, I didn't see him look at him. So,
because if he could put two and two together,
right.
Wow, there's about to be a crowd here digging for what they think is an idol, but Ryan jumped up from there first.
Yeah.
No.
So there was, okay, so then Ryan goes, cover it up, cover it up. There's no need to cover it up. It's a bunch of sand that gets moved around all the time. It didn't look like there was a big hole there. It's just leave it alone. Walk away.
Yeah, exactly. This is what I like, though, is that Chrissy actually looked like she was digging a little more.
I know. It's like,
yeah,
he has it.
Yeah.
Maybe she didn't hear him say, I have it. Maybe she thought he was saying, cover it up so no one knows that we're looking.
I thought the same thing. And later on, when there's like 5 guys trying to get in that hole, she looks up at Ryan with a big smile on her face.
Oh, well, then she
and that's my only thought, that maybe she was just trying to egg them on to find something. And it worked great that they think Cole has it, where Ryan and Chrissy know that Cole doesn't have it.
But that wasn't the plan. And if it was, then kudos to them. But I don't think the plan was, okay, I'm going to start digging so that Cole looks like he has it. I don't think that was the plan at all. I think Chrissy just was starting to cover it up, which didn't need to happen.
True. It looked like she was digging to me, like she was making a different hole or something. I don't know. We'll find it eventually, I guess.
All right. Well, Ben thinks he saw Cole put it in his pants, and Cole's like, Cole's not committing one way or the other. He can't decide, is it to my benefit to make them think I have an idol, or is it to my benefit to say I don't have an idol? Because he says both.
He does, but after a while, he stops saying, I don't have it.
I know, but
he smartly lets them think he may have an idol. And I think that's probably the smartest thing he's done all season, probably the only smart thing he'll do all season, is let them think he has an idol.
Yeah. Well, okay.
But otherwise, he knows that he's in trouble, and he has to win the immunity challenge, which then tells me he will.
Yeah. I actually felt sorry for Cole. I still do. I feel sorry for Cole. He's alone. Not only is he alone in that he really doesn't have anybody batting for him, but he's alone in that people they don't like him and they openly tell him. I mean, Ben's just like, hey, Ben, thanks for, making me feel good about myself. Anyway.
But it's a fair point. But at the same time, you have to work to do well in Survivor. And one of those big jobs you have is to be a social person.
That's true.
You have to make relationships with people. Ben is an easy person to talk to. There are people that love Ben, but there are people that Ben does not like because they don't reach out to Ben either.
Right.
And if Cole had made other relationships or just provided or not eaten when he wasn't supposed to eat, Cole's done things to get on people's bad sides.
Yeah.
So, and in Survivor, you really only have one chance to make a first impression ever, because you're never going to have another chance, because you're going to get voted out. So I do pity that he got blamed for it, but at the same time, they can't trust him because they don't know him, because he hasn't formed any relationships with him. He was with Jessica, and not once did he mention Jessica this entire episode that we saw. And he had a chance to say, if we get voted out, we're going to a bad place. Well, Jessica's supposed to be although she's not going to be at that place. But anyway, I don't know. She's totally gone from his mind.
Yeah. Well, I guess really the reason why I feel sorry for him is because he seems like he doesn't really know what's going on or how to play the game. So I guess I kind of feel sorry for him in that way. I guess it's
yeah. He needs Jessica.
So anyway, all right. I don't want to talk about that other stuff. So immunity challenge. Let's talk about that. Mm-hmm. What is the bell on the idol stand? Why is it there? What purpose does it serve? You didn't notice it, did you?
No, the bell on the idol stand.
Yeah. By the way, where's Gwen? I thought Gwen was in the chat room.
She is, but she said so much. Dude, not her message being seen.
Come on. Where is Gwen? She's not in the chat room because she just typed, "Are my messages being seen?" Therefore, you don't say, "I don't know," but she just typed, "Are my message?" I was trying to make her think we couldn't see him.
Well, you've been having some difficulties tonight, so I'm not sure what you're talking about anymore.
I was going to play a joke on Gwen because she wrote, "Are my messages being seen?" So I asked you, is Gwen even in the chat room? And you were like, well, she just asked if her messages are being seen.
Sorry, I totally missed you telling me you had the idol, and I kept digging.
All right, so what's the bell on the idol stand? You didn't even hear me say that, probably. I have no idea what that is. Balance statue while bouncing on a beam. Have you noticed that being strong is not helping with immunity challenges so far?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's about endurance.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some strength to that.
Yeah. Okay. Dr. Mike, the surgeon. By the way, if Dr. Mike is my surgeon and I need a delicate surgery and then I watch this challenge, I may go to another urologist. He can't keep his body and hands steady. Hello?
Of course, his surgery tools are not quite long poles either. So they're not heavy utensils.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
By the way, Ryan's heartbeat gave me the heebie-jeebies.
Oh, my gosh.
I had to look away. I almost threw up. Yeah, that was just disgusting.
I couldn't think if I've ever seen that before.
Oh, my gosh. It was, I literally almost gagged. It was, oh, my gosh. I'm seeing someone's heart from the outside. This is not normal. This is not supposed to happen. Gosh. By the way,
weird.
Vader girl, urologists do surgeries. Okay. Anyway, no, that was not a muscle twitch, Mike. It was beating.
Wow.
Now, Mike will though find some kind of proof in some encyclopedia in his brain.
Well, Prope said it, so it must be true.
That's right. So, anyway. Chrissy ends with which healer's going next. Who wins immunity?
Cole.
I love it when plans get totally messed up by the immunity challenge. Back at camp, my friend. Back at camp. Why don't you start this one?
The plan gets thrown out right away that it's girls vote Joe and guys vote Desi. Everybody's feeling confident. And then we get Cole talking to Joe and Mike and says, sorry, guys, but I did not find that idol that they think I found.
Yeah, I know.
It's tough.
Yeah.
And I love it that Joe's got a one-track mind on this episode of it, and it's about Ben.
Yeah.
And as much as he looks like an antagonist, a button pusher, Joe is exactly right.
Oh, I know.
That Ben is running it. His resume is building, and none of you will beat him at the end of this game.
Yeah.
So why not flip? Because I need you to flip. And Ryan says, well, you do, and you're right, but it's not quite time to flip on Ben, as Ben listens from the tree shack.
Okay, unless he could actually hear what's going on. Sneaking behind a tree serves no purpose, and I don't know that he could hear what was going on. he looked silly, is what he looked.
Yeah, because when he said, I knew Joe would put a target on me, Ryan could have told him that. Yeah. So, but I don't know. I think I'm going to guess that he heard them because editing made it look cool that he heard them.
Yeah. All right. So Ben comes out all confident and cocky, right? And wants to kind of mess with Joe. Don't mess with Joe. I'm sorry. You are no match for Joe whenever it comes to this kind of thing. You know?
Yeah.
This type of going back and forth. Who's going to win this? Joe's going to win this. Because Joe can push your buttons and make you very upset. And Joe doesn't have any buttons to push, I don't think. I really don't. I don't know that he even has a button. I think it's just, I think he just has a finger that pushes buttons all the time and then sits back and laughs about it and pushes it over and over and over again. So anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, I love what Patricia Renshaw wrote. Joe lives in Ben's head rent-free. Oh, wow. That's good. Let's see. Oh, another thing that's good about Joe doing this and is that it shows to other people in the camp, sometimes this works. It shows someone out of control.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And that always doesn't sit well with the rest of the camp. Right. It may come back to bite him later on in the game.
Yep. I'm trying to think of how, but yeah, you see a different side of somebody.
Well, you need a reason to vote somebody, and you go, well, you know, he's really sometimes not very controlled, and he could, you know, go off or whatever.
But we did see him come down at tribal council.
Well, yeah,
so
he did.
We did see another side of him, but yeah, but you're right. So
with a little help from Probst, but yeah, a little help from Probst, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell us about your Marine experience.
Yeah, we'll hear more about that in our feedback.
Yeah, okay.
So Lauren, this is where Lauren goes to Ben after this. You ready to move on to that?
Dude, whatever you want to do.
Yeah. About the problem with splitting votes and about her advantage. And she's right. You know, she's got to play it because she's got to save it. You know, it's an extra vote for them. That's how she says it, but it's going to be for her. So Ben approaches Mike about and I love this because Mike sensed something was wrong and he was right.
Mm-hmm.
They don't need us. Why do they need us? They're going to tie. If they split the votes, they're going to tie us.
Right. And
then they vote one of us out. So why something is wrong? And I really feel like I would love to hear Mike talk more about what he thought it could be. But I have a feeling this is day 21. This was a quick episode. It was like 20 and 21.
Yeah.
2 challenges in 2 days. And he probably just didn't have time to work it out. But of course, had he known, they could have actually taken out Ben with 4 votes because they would have taken the. Well, see, this is really smart. If you don't mind me talking about the vote right here.
No, please.
I loved that Ben did not trust Mike and Cole. We don't know. We never saw anybody approach Cole except for Mike.
Okay.
So we can either presume Mike pulled Cole over because Cole voted Joe, or they actually said bring Cole over, or somebody went to Cole. But what I love about this vote was that Ben played it very smart in that Ben, Devin, JP, and somebody else voted Desi. They had the numbers to vote Desi.
Yes.
And they did not leave it in the hands of Cole and Mike because they voted Joe with Christy and Ashley.
Right.
Oh, so Lauren, Ben, Devin, and JP all voted, or Ryan. I'm sorry, Ryan. They had enough votes. That's right, because Lauren didn't vote. So the 4 guys voted Desi, just in case Cole and Mike decided to flip back, and they could equal their votes. And if they did work out in their favor and flipped with them, then everything would work out in the tie, and they could take care of the vote after that. Yeah. But I just like how they didn't put Mike on one ballot and Cole on one ballot, trusting they would be the 4th vote on either, because that could have flipped back on them.
Yeah.
That was really smart. But I love how Mike says, something's not right. Why do they need us? They don't need us. But, yeah.
See, if I'm Lauren, that's my big concern.
Mm-hmm.
If I put this into play, everybody's going to count. And they're going to know that Probst is like, okay, 4, and then 2 other votes. That's so obviously 10, and no one catches on.
Yeah.
But if I'm Lauren, when I'm telling Ben, I'm like, yeah, but if I put it into play, which I need to do, everybody's going to know something's going on. You know? So what if Mike had taken that suspicion into camp, into tribal, and like, okay, let's see how this is going to work. Why does he need me?
Yeah.
You know? And then he could have said, someone didn't vote. See, in fact, I would have done that. I would have not stood up, but I would have said, Probst, or Mr. Probst, or whatever you call him, that's only 10 votes. What would he have said? In fact, I wonder if Dalton Ross asked him that. What would you have said? Because Dalton Ross always asks him stuff.
I don't think he did, but I think Probst admits that nobody seemed to recognize it was only 10.
But I want to know what he would have done if someone had said, Probst, you must have missed one. That's only...
He probably would have said, those are all the votes that are in here.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, what else can you say? That's the truth.
All
That's all the votes that are in here.
I'm always one short. Yeah.
Yeah. I would have liked to give Mike 24 more hours to figure out what was going on. But at the same time, I think Mike feels strong. I think Mike is still super tight with Lauren.
Yeah.
They seem to have had a real connection. And I think he likes Ben and trusts Ben, although he thinks Ben's the biggest threat. And I think Mike is hoping that Lauren and Ben will take him and Cole maybe and go to the Final Four. I think that's what his plan is at this point.
Yeah. Okay. You want to get to tribal council?
Yep.
All right. Joe, of course, again, calling out Ben. Very wise. One person running the game right now, and that's Ben. And then Ben does what every single person who's the head of a group does. No, we're the knights of a round table. We're all equal. The leader always says you're all equal when you're in a situation like that. You know?
Exactly.
So.
Exactly. Yep. But it's funny. Joe's right the whole time he's talking.
I know he is. You know, and look, whether you like Joe or not, don't let that bias your opinion of the way he's playing as far as his strategy and the way he approaches putting the target on somebody else. You may not like the way he plays, or you may not like him for whatever reason, but he's playing a good game.
Exactly. And if you don't like the way what Cole is doing, whether you like what he's doing,
Cole or Joe?
Sorry, Joe. If you appreciate that Joe is trying, then I think you like the good parts about Survivor. But if you want Joe just to roll over and be the next vote out, then you like boring Survivor.
Yeah,
because that's a Pagani. We want to see Joe fight, right? To do whatever he has to do to stay in the game,
right? Gwen wants to know, after Survivor Talk with D&D is over, does that mean we're going to do Psych Talk with D&D? No. Vader Girl, if you want the D&D Stranger Things shirt, then you better get it quickly, because I'm about to close that D&D podcasting store. No more shirts and hoodies and all that kind of stuff. So go get it if you want it. All right. Is Ben playing? Okay. This is dangerous, because there are a few subjects that if you question anybody on it or anything, people all get all their arms up, all up in arms. Mm-hmm. But I kind of feel like Ben a little bit is playing the Marine card a little bit. He gets so much sympathy for it that he's kind of playing the Marine card. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. I work with two retired Marines, and they don't.
Right.
But it's totally different situation. Right. And I wonder if in Ben's sense, he's gone through so much after Marine time of dealing with what he had to deal with, which I will never comprehend what he had to deal with.
Yeah.
That he wants to be clear about who he is and what he feels and things like, and that may be part of his recovery, and that he needs to express himself that way. But they edit really laid on the military talk, the Marine talk. I was with you when I was hearing all that at Tribal. I'm like, they are really showing this part of him.
And I
already like the guy and respect and love the guy, but it's all coming back to that.
And he brings it up a lot. Now, I say all that to say, by all means, if you got the card, play it.
Yes.
Play it. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I think he's taking advantage in a good way of him being a Marine who is struggling with post-traumatic stuff. You know? Why not use it? Use it in your favor. That's how you play Survivor. You take things about your life that can help your game and you use them. So I'm not saying it was a bad thing. I do think he's using it as well he should.
There our chat room is agreeing. Gwen said, I have 100% respect for him, but his storyline is annoying me.
Well,
Beta Girl loves Marines. He'll do.
Well, of course she does.
And Patty says that's what's going to wake people up to his story is a threat to take it to the end. And yeah.
Beta Girl keeps going, Joe will love this show tonight. That's assuming he even listens to the show. At some time, every survivor will love the show at some point because we always talk nice about most everybody.
Most everybody. And we don't call them stupid.
I know. I apologize, Chrissy, if you're still even listening. I didn't. Well, anyway. All right. I love it when Probst asked JP. Oh, wait. No, that didn't happen. Sorry. Let's see.
I was going to say, I must have missed that. JP, you still awake? Yep, I'm here. Yeah, that's just what we do. Yeah.
JP, and JP goes, what? Huh? I'm sorry. There's a bug over there. I was just. No, this is what JP was saying. I was thinking about which direction which muscles I'm gonna emphasize when I flex the next time I lose a challenge. So
he was too.
All right, time to vote. 11 people, 10 votes. Would you say something to Jeff? I didn't think I got an answer from you. Would you have said something to Jeff?
If it hurt me, yeah. Because I would want to ruin somebody's game if they used it against me. Absolutely. If I'm Joe or Desi or Cole, I might say something.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, Joe, if you're listening, Gwen Stevens wants me to say hi to you. So hello from Gwen Stevens, Joe. There you go. All right. Let's see. Then it's Desi, Joe, Desi, first member of the jury. And Cole's like, what? What? I thought Jessica would be there.
Did you notice that Joe put on his sack? He put on his.
Oh yeah, I did. He thought he was going home.
Like I'm done. I'm gone.
Yeah, which
Absolutely.
Why not think that?
Yep.
So I like that Joe said, "Hey, I did not flip on you." You know,
Joe's keeping it real.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah. So that's the recap of the episode. It's time for...
Everybody sit back. It's time for feedback. Our listeners have to say what's on their minds today. D&D will hear you. D&D will read you. D&D will take the time to take your lines, analyze, and feel you. It's feedback. Survivor Talk with D&D. Take and listen to feedback, y'all. That's right.
I love that thing. I'm going to miss playing that. You know what I'm going to do sometimes? I'm just going to be sitting in my room and I'm going to go, I want to hear feedback.
Use it as a ringtone.
Yeah, use it as a ringtone. All right, let's listen to Kieran. Here we go.
What's up, guys? It's Kieran from Maryland. Time for my feedback. Lauren found an advantage, which gave her the ability to not go to the next tribal council. But
wait, by the way, I took his feedback and increased the speed by 3.
What's up, guys? It's Kieran from Maryland. Time for my feedback. Lauren found an advantage, which gave her the ability to not go to the next tribal council, but vote twice at another tribal council. New and interesting twist. She told Ben, which was good because they trust each other. The idols fiasco was really funny. Ryan just watching Ben, Joe, and Cole unnecessarily go crazy for an idol, which you're not going to find, was just funny. After the muting challenge, Joe and Desi were the targets, and Joe accused Ben of swearing at the Marines to rile his cage, which did work. They supposedly showed Mike and Ben working together. I think so. I think Mike and Ben are going to form an alliance and go very far together. At Tribal Council, it's a 4-4-1-1 tie with Joe and Desi getting 4 votes, and Desi was surprisingly unanimously voted out in the revote. Very shocked they didn't vote for Joe. Joe's the one who's played 2 idols and is very loud and obnoxious. Why didn't they get rid of Joe? If Joe did have an idol, he would not be able to play it in the revote. Maybe Desi was more of a threat than what was shown. We just have no idea. All we know is that she could win an immunity challenge. We don't know how likable or how strategic she is, so maybe we'll find more information in her exit interview. Surprised she voted for Lauren. Maybe the healers told her they'll vote for Lauren and just flipped on her. I have no idea. So that was weird. Moving forward, the healers, mainly Joe and Cole, are in trouble. Mike is in a very good position. Despite being on the bottom, because he's one of the few healers left, he's not a target, and he does have Ben wanting to work with him. So I think Mike can slip under the radar and just slither his way all the way to the end. So good for him. Cole's ship has sunk, but he has jumped up the ship with the with the life vest. So he's not floating along, but let's see how long that lasts because he is a target. So overall, this was a really good episode. I liked it. Really good content. Desi going home was our prediction, so I should be happy. But at the same time, Desi going home was boring. Usually the boot staff at the second post-match tribal council are usually exciting. Usually the strategic or physical threats go, but this time we had Desi going. Desi was probably more of a threat, but we just didn't know. In the preview, they show Ryan telling Ben and Devin about the idol. Ooh, not good. He could become a target in the next episode. I've got a question for you. Do you think Ryan is more of a South Pacific or Caramon Cochran? I think he's more of a Caramon Cochran because he does have a great social game, from what I've heard. All right. Have a great day. Hope you read my feedback.
All right, Karen. By the way, it was not a unanimous vote. The second vote was not unanimous.
Yeah. I think Ryan is kind of a mix of both. I think telling multiple people about his idol, well, I mean, to me, that's him not feeling comfortable with only one person as his number one. Because Chrissy knows. Why not just leave it with Chrissy? Why tell Ben and Devin? I know he trusts Devin as his other, but I don't think Cochran tells a whole lot of people he's found an idol. And Kara Mullen.
No.
He might in South Pacific, but not Kara Mullen.
Yeah. So Patricia in the chat room, David, do you notice Chrissy yells for JP to help her with Cole? Also, Chrissy is always cheering JP on in challenges. I think JP is Chrissy's goat. She plans on taking to the end of the game.
I could agree with that, but I also think JP was still standing next to the flag because he just saw Ryan get the idol.
All right, next we have Wendy from South Dakota. I'm going to miss saying that too.
Yeah.
We've been saying that since like 12 seasons ago. Wendy from South Dakota. Remember whenever we tried to get her to say South Dakota and she kept trying to do it and she couldn't do it because that's not how she talks? That was great.
She was the first listener I ever met because we met at Calabash in North Carolina, southern part of North Carolina for lunch. Terry and I and Gracie met her and her daughters. That was awesome.
She is the first person to ever donate money. She gave $20, and I remember I was outside at my son's field day, and I went, "Oh my goodness, we just got $20! Wow!" Look, Connie. This will pay for a fourth of what I paid over the last 3 months. So, anyway. Hello, Wendy from South Dakota.
Hey, Dwaine and David and all my Survivor friends. It's Wendy from South Dakota. And yes, once again, I am in the grain cart. Harvest is still not finished yet. But we're getting closer. That's my husband on the radio, talking to me back and forth.
What you got going on, baby?
I have 61,000. Would you like to say hello to Dwaine and David and all my Survivor friends?
Hello, Dwaine and David. Trying to get a big day of wrapping up corn here so we can enjoy your little deer hunting. Put that rifle back in Wendy's hand.
Okay, so that's what my husband has to say, and it's nothing about Survivor. But anyway, I had to watch Survivor in the grain cart today. So just sometime for fun, try watching a never-before-seen episode of Survivor in 3-minute increments with somewhere between 7 and 30 minutes in between each 3-minute increment.
No way.
It is pure torture. Nothing but torture. It was a fantastic episode, although for the life of me, I can't figure out why they didn't vote Joe out instead of Desi, because he's such an agitator. I've gone to don't care for him to I really dislike him now at this point, because the way he treated Ben and tried to I feel so strongly about people and their military service and how much we owe to them that it was just disturbing to me how he treated them. I realize this is a game, but just like with what happened with Zeke, there's some lines you just don't cross, and to me that's one of them. Anyway, I'm not sure how Ryan pulled that off without anybody seeing him, but the melee that ensued after that was sure entertaining to watch. And I'm not sure how nobody else saw him grab it and put it in his pants. It must not have been buried very deep, but boy, that was hilarious just to see everything that went on there. Let me think. I'm just trying to talk right off the top of my head. I hope to see Joe get voted out next week. I hope to be on my couch watching it from start to finish. I hope y'all have a good week. John Deere for life. Y'all take care. Okay, I got a PS to my recording. I would be remiss if I didn't say anything about your announcement last week. I am so sad to hear that you guys are hanging up your hats, but I completely understand it as a parent and a family person. What you guys do requires a lot of time and effort, and I'm going to miss you, and I appreciate all you've done over the last, I think you said 12 years. I just have appreciated your podcast and your friendship, and I'm going to miss you. Thanks.
Thank you, Wendy. It's been 6 years, 12 seasons. And, I hadn't thought about her perspective from Joe really pushing the buttons. I mean, I did think about Joe pushing the buttons. Did he go too far dealing with, since realizing that Ben has some post-traumatic stress stuff going on? Did he push the wrong button? Did he go too far? That's a fair question.
See, I didn't get a sense from the edit that Joe seemed as evil as some are saying. She's not saying he's evil, but I completely understand her using that, talking about his military service. But Ben's reaction was just really strong. Yeah. But I don't know.
But, he wasn't ragging on his military service, though. Mm-mm. He was just saying, you swore on the military. That's all he was saying.
Right. I heard that you swore to 3 people on your military.
Yeah. So I don't think he's like, I don't know. I mean, I can see how she would be sensitive to that and how others may be sensitive to that. But I also can see how he wasn't really dealing with his military time in service. He was just, anyway, there's both sides.
I think I know where you're going in that he found a spot in Ben and he just allowed it to keep getting pushed. I don't think he was digging at his military service either.
Yeah.
I think he just, yeah.
All right. Next we have Will from Wonder Lake again.
What's up, guys? It's Will from Wonder Lake again, a.k.a. the Giant Ninja. Okay, no joke. I was honestly not going to do a feedback this week. I had this in my calendar to not even worry about because I am literally on trial yesterday and today, a felony trial. Did half the trial yesterday, doing half the trial today. I'm on lunch break right now, and I thought, you know what? This is a good time not to watch Survivor on Wednesday night and think about a feedback the next day. But then Dwaine and David, the double Ds, decided to end their podcast, and we've only got so many episodes left. And I'm like, what are you doing to me? So I had to do one because I love you guys, and I didn't want to waste an opportunity. You have to tell the people in your life that you love them. I love you guys, and I'm going to miss you, and I wish that you weren't ending your podcast, but I respect you, and you need to do what's best for you. You do you, boo-boo, as the great Jason says. So for this week, I'm going to do a real quick Giant Ninja ranking. I'm doing it audio, so I'm going to just do a top 5 and try and get through it real quick. Remember, as a reminder, my power rankings are based on winner equity, who I think has the best chance to win. It is not based on projected finish. And that is important because were I doing the whole top 10, you would probably see at least one person from the very bottom of the list make it to the end, and that's because really good players like to go to the end with really bad players.
JP.
So without further ado, number 5, Fishmonger Lydia / Lauren. She's picking up. She's looking good. She has alliances with both sides. She has a working relationship with both sides. She has an extra vote that she can use to her advantage at any point in the future. And she clearly has no real loyalty to anyone except maybe Ben. And if and when she goes down in the game, it's going to be because either she didn't get rid of Ben when she should have, or she ended up going to the end with Ben and loses. Number 4, my B-fam, my brother from another mother, Ryan. Ryan, I love you. You are such great TV, and you are in a position to win this game. The problem that I see is that there are too many good players who you are not going to beat in a jury vote with the jury you'll be facing. So I worry that you'll be there with Chrissy or with Ben or with your top ally, Devin. I really think that the jury is going to vote for any of those people before they vote for you. You need to go to the end with JP, my brother. You need to take JP to the end, and maybe an Ashley or even a Lauren. If you can get there with JP and Lauren or JP and Ashley, I think you're going to win. Number 3, Joe Mena. Joe, I love you, Joe. You're looking great out there. You are clearly playing the game. Unfortunately, it seems like a lot of people don't like you. On the upside, they had every chance to get rid of you last night, and they chose not to. You are going to have to find a crack in the majority alliance, break them up, and try and work with the leftover pieces and convince them that they can beat you because nobody wants to vote for the snake. And then in the end, hope that everybody respects good gameplay. And I think it's possible. That's why I have you so high at number 3. Number 2, we have Chrissy. I think everybody thinks that Chrissy is the strategic force behind her alliance. And if she keeps everything together, she is going to win. I do not think that a lot of jury members will vote for her over Ben. But I do think enough jury members could vote for her over Ben that she can win with any combination. Nonetheless, I have her at number 2 because I suspect, to no one's surprise, number 1 is still Ben Driebergen. Ben, I believe you have the greatest winner equity right now. I still believe you're going to win this game. Although last night I saw a side of you that I didn't particularly like. I think the editors were trying to make us like you, feel for you, that you were attacked unnecessarily and that we were supposed to feel bad for you. But I just saw anger and frustration and overreaction. It didn't play well to me, but I'm not on the jury. I think it probably did play very well to the people that were out there with you, especially since they don't like Joe anyway. So I think you're in good shape. I think if you get to the end, I think you're going to beat anyone in the game. You're still my winner pick. Good luck, Ben. And with that, that's all I've got. Later, peeps. Will at the Giant Ninja.
What's up, guys? It's Will from Wonder Lake again, a.k.a. the Giant Ninja. Well, on my feedback, I told you that I was at lunch break on a 2-day trial, and that I really probably shouldn't be working on that. But, the end of the podcast was coming, so I needed to. So I thought I'd follow it up just in case anybody was wondering. Humble brag time. I won. Later, peeps. Will at the Giant Ninja.
What's he talking about? He won what?
He won the case. He was just went on.
Of course.
He said he was on trial.
Yeah,
I think he meant he was in trial.
Well, that's probably lawyer talk for I am,
working
on trial. That's right. Thank you, Will at the Giant Ninja from Wonder Lake again. I really hope to meet Will one day, unless I'm in the courtroom against him. Or I'm like the defendant and he's the prosecutor or something. Someday, though, Will, I'm going to make it up to Chicago. And when I get to Chicago, I'm going to let you know I'm coming. And you're going to get me some Chicago pizza. That's what's going to happen.
Gwen says in trial is code for in jail. He's in Wonder Lake prison. He's got the Wonder Lake blues.
Oh, man. Here we go. It's Mir I Am, Vader Girl, Kale Woman, Black Cats for Life, Batman.
Hi, Dwaine and David, and D&D friends, patrons, listeners.
What, David?
Batman?
Well, I just thought I'd throw something else in there.
Everybody's giving shout-outs to their favorite things.
American Man, or whatever his name is. Captain America. I'm so not a Marvel comic book dude. All right, here we go. Here I am. Here we go. No, don't do that.
Hi, Dwaine and David, and D&D friends, patrons, listeners. Sending you guys lots of love. This is Mir I Am, Vader Girl, calling from Everett, Washington. Just calling up about Survivor last night. Loving that episode. It was great. Survivor's gotten really good. This is a great season. I really love this cast. I think it's great casting. It's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it. I'm still Ryan, Team Ryan all the way. Loving my preseason winner pick. I'm so glad he found the idol. I'm loving that his shorts have been like the talk of the season now that he hit an idol in his shorts. And pink power shorts, power. And Chrissy, I think, is becoming more of a target. I love Chrissy. She's so smart and beautiful. But I think she kind of made herself a target by the stunt with Cole, looking for the idol. I think her whispering was a little bit louder than it needed to be after the reward. And she just seems to be making a little bit of a target out of herself, and I'm kind of worried. I still think she may make it to the end, but if she does, she's not going to get any votes, I don't think. I was loving Ben, but I feel like, Ben, thank you so much for your service. Ben's amazing. Happy late anniversary to the Marines. Hoorah. Ben did really good. Upset. I think Ben got a little more upset than he needed to. He let Joe push his buttons. And I felt like Jeff Probst kind of threw him under the bus at Tribal Council, making him talk about being a Marine. And he just looked more and more, like somebody they won't take to the end. And he's becoming more of a target. So I'm a little bit worried about him. Joe Mena. Love you, Joe Mena. You are amazing. Glad you listened to the podcast. We love you, Joe. Thank God you didn't get voted out. And thank God we're going to have more episodes because you really make the season fun. You give this season life, and I hope you go far. Who I really predict is going to go far and doing well, in my opinion, is Devin, Ryan, Rimmer, Ashley, and JP. The people who I think are possibly in trouble are Cole, Joe, Chrissy, and Dr. Mike. And we'll have to see what happens. It's getting good. Sending you guys lots of love. May the force be with you. And hopefully I'm not going to end with too many things so you guys can respond to what I said. Bye, guys.
Wait now, Vader Girl. What are you implying? That we don't respond to your feedback?
Because by the time she forgets all her shout-outs, we forgot what she said.
The main thing I remember about that feedback was pink shorts for life. I think that's what she said. Right?
Yeah, she gave a good review. Almost like a recap.
Oh, that's funny. All right. What, did she ask us any questions? I don't remember her asking us any questions.
Oh, Gwen thinks she's implying that we mess up her jokes. I don't know where she gets that from.
No. Sometimes Gwen just doesn't. It's like she's not all there.
Oh, my gosh. I hope you don't mess up her feedback.
I got to read her feedback tonight?
Yeah, I read it last week. You get to read it tonight.
Oh, man. Okay. Here we go. Gwen Stevens from Santa Barbara. Hello, D&D. David, perk up your ears. First of all, I do not consent. Ben, I don't think he will win. My guess is that they are building him up as a hero to bring him back for Heroes versus Villains 2. I could definitely see that happening.
Yeah, me too.
Yes. Devin, angels literally started singing when he started talking at Tribal Council. Yeah, there was like these, oh, No? Vader Girl, do you know what that's from? I just sang a very famous melody. Probably a winner's edit talking about Devin, but the editors like to trick us these days. Lauren, my bold prediction, Lauren and Devin will tie at Final Tribal, and the third place finisher will have to break the tie. Can Lauren use her extra vote then? Pulls it out of her cleavage, and bam, sole survivor. Yes, I know she can actually use it. It's a joke, she wrote. JP is very island hot. He can catch me a fish any day of the week.
And that's all she's got about JP.
Yeah. Joe, he can whine on Twitter all he wants. He is playing a game similar to Tony. I'm just wanting to hear the parody song. What does the alpaca say? What's an alpaca?
Isn't it like a llama?
See? Oh, probably so. Now, how is that? What does the fox say? What's the tune for that?
I don't think I've ever heard that whole song.
What does the fox say? What does the alpaca say? Yeah, okay, I'm really showing my ignorance to stuff that's going on. Oh, Gwen is very upset at us for not knowing that.
At you?
Okay, hold on. I want to listen to the song, What Does the Fox Say? Let's see what Siri does for me here. Seriously? Oh my gosh. People like this song? What is this? Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow.
So, but she wants to know if we've heard What Does the Llama Say?
Oh, wait. What's going on? Why am I hearing that again?
Because it's What Does the Llama Say?
Is it really?
Well, it's not English for one.
No, I know what you're talking about. What does... Thousands of people are not tuning in anymore.
I just want to hear what the chorus.
Okay, stop.
I'm way ahead of you.
That was the biggest waste of a minute we have ever spent on this show.
And we can't get it back either.
No. Vader Girl, it was from The Phantom of the Opera. Come on. You should know these things. What does the alpaca say? All right. Cole, let's get back to her. I understood the joke, Gwen. I just did not remember the tune of it. Now to Cole. Dude, breaking things is your MO. Trust, hearts. Just break the freaking plate. Ashley is on Survivor. Chrissy still can't win. Apparently, Dr. Mike has commented on the size of Ryan's ego. Sure, we will say that. If Ryan is keeping that idol in his pants, won't Dr. Mike notice?
That's good.
Based on next week's preview, yes, Vader Girl, you got it right. Based on next week's preview, Ryan will be crying when Ryan will be crying when his idol goes a-flying on the Tribal Council Island. Ryan will be crying when the idol goes flying on the Tribal Council Island. Desi, you are beautiful, but sadly, we had to say goodbye. Oh, also, I do not consent. Peace out, bronies. Gwen from Santa Barbara. Yes, Gwen, we got the joke.
Yeah, I was sad to say goodbye to Desi as well, but in our rankings this week with Abby and Alex, I was the only one that got her right as the boot prediction.
Really?
I just knew she felt she'd be a victim to Joe and Cole and Mike. And they even mentioned it, talked about how her game could be affected by them, and she was like the victim of them.
Yeah. By the way, since we had to listen to that horrible stuff. See, everybody that just heard that is going to go to Apple Music and go, I want to hear Johnny Be Good. Mm-hmm. Now that song is being played all over the place.
All over the world.
All over the world. Yeah, we have people all over the world.
Absolutely.
All right. What a great show because of y'all, because your feedback was amazing. Just a reminder that all of our shows will remain on iTunes, and our website will also remain online so people can access all of our previous shows in blogs if they want. But more importantly, our Survivor Talk Facebook group will continue to be the place we always go to interact and talk about Survivor with you. Absolutely. David, someday you will watch Psych. Next time you are over at my house, we will watch Psych, at least 4 or 5 episodes.
I have a feeling I'm not going to like it.
I think you'll love it.
I did try to watch it.
No, don't even. Oh, I just found a great show.
Me too.
David, I don't remember the name of it, but it's really good.
we just started. We got a free marathon, on-demand marathon, so we can watch the pay channels on-demand shows.
Yeah,
and we're watching the first season of Ray Donovan. Oh, it's so good.
Patrick goes, ramen's for life.
I think Vader Girl has found her new Frodo Lives. Remember how that used to be the thing put out a long time ago? That
Dr. Brenner is alive.
Brenner's alive.
Yeah.
Gwen just found a great show too, and it's going off the air.
Wait, Gwen, how long have you been listening to us? How long? I will continue while she's answering that. Survivor Talk with D&D, the podcast may be ending, but the Survivor Talk continues on Facebook. Well, she said years. You didn't just find us. Also, we are thrilled to announce that Ryan Kaiser will be moving over to another amazing podcast family of bloggers beginning next season. If you haven't figured out who that is, let me say that again. Another amazing podcast family of bloggers. A very large family of bloggers for a very large podcast. Just saying. Good way to go, Ryan. So anyway, thank you for sticking with us the rest of tonight's episode. And only 5 more left, David, after this. Only 1 more by ourselves.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be fun having Jessica on. I might actually eat some of those chips that she talks about.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly, do you remember the first time we ever had Kelly on?
We heard angels.
Yeah, we heard people singing Christmas carols in the middle of August. It was the beginning it was like February or May or March or something like that. That was hilarious.
That was fun.
And then,
first time we had Steve and Andy on, I think we talked for like 12 hours.
Yeah, well,
the recording stopped, but we just kept talking.
Yeah. And then, of course, who's that other one? Oh, yeah.
The Queen of Ponderosa.
Cass. I love Cass. I love me some Cass. You know that's going to happen. Will's going to say that.
Cass is just honestly hilarious.
I know. And she likes us, which is really cool.
That is kind of amazing. Yeah.
I wasn't sure she'd like us two guys. And now she lives in Texas. I love hearing her stories about Texas and how things are so different there, so much more conservative and everything. So at her PTA, remember that PTA story she told?
Oh, yeah.
And she goes, oh, did I just say that out loud? Yes, you did. Oh, man, it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, David, do you have any final words?
In 1964, when W.C. Fields was lying on his deathbed, one of his friends was beside the bed, and he said, "Why are you reading the Bible now?" And W.C. Fields says, "I'm looking for loopholes." That's my final word.
Wow, I'm looking for loopholes. Nice. All right. Well, David, I have a feeling the last 5 episodes we might do some more reminiscing. Gosh, I could sit here and think of all kinds of cool things. Remember those horrible microphones we started off with?
I still have mine.
And I was at a Guitar Center talking about how I loved our microphones, our headsets, and the lady kind of looked at me like, "Seriously? You're a podcaster and you use those? Are you serious?"
And people listen.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, man. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Oh, do you remember who our first guest was?
It was Dawson.
Yeah, sure was. During the season, remember?
You remember what tribe she was on?
Heck no.
She was on Calabar.
Calabar.
She was from the returning season. That was the Philippines.
Wow.
Who won the first season we podcasted?
Dude. Oh, wait. That was One World. It was Kim Spradlin.
Well done. It only took you about 4.5 seconds. Good job.
We're going to end on this. I love this song.
I got the eye of the tiger. Dancing through the fire. 'Cause I am a champion. And you're gonna hear me.
Can you tell I'm calling basketball games now, so I got to have all this music queued up. I got all kinds of good ones in here. Here's one. Name that tune, David.
Starting something?
Want to be starting something. Got to be starting something. All right, name this tune. Ready?
I was breathing but not alive.
It's Glorious Day by Passion. Come on.
Oh, come on. Really? Expect me to know those songs?
What song is that?
I have no idea.
Oh, this is a great song. The next song I'm going to add is the new Imagine Dragons song, Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good song. Have you heard it?
Oh, that's one of Davis's favorite songs.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm going to add that to my mix of timeout songs. Okay, here's your last. Can you name this tune? You ready?
Just Beat It, Man.
Yeah, that's right. And when I announce the home team, and now your Lindsay Lane Lions. All right, we're going to head off.
Do you know which professional basketball team uses that?
No, I do not. Who?
I think the Chicago Bulls do.
No, they don't. They use Alan Parsons' project, something else.
You sure?
Yeah, that's
I'd
what
have to check. I thought they used that.
No. All right. Talk to everybody, lady. Talk to everybody, lady. Talk
See
to
ya.
everybody later. Bye.